How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's always Christmas when you work with Christmas homes. My name is Luke Christmas, your Northeast Florida realtor.
And my name is Hunter Downing with Movement Mortgage, your local expert here in Northeast Florida. Today, we're going to be diving into what to expect in your payment after year one.
We never want you to be surprised. With all of our clients, we make sure that a monthly payment goal is a primary focus. That way, we're setting you up for home ownership success. We'll go over all of this in this video, so do not leave.
What is in a mortgage payment? I don't think a lot of people know. So let's dive into that first, and then we're going to get into the pro tips. So a mortgage payment consists of principal and interest, homeowners insurance, property taxes, mortgage insurance, and an HOA. And when we buy a home, that's what the monthly payment is. And we get a fixed rate, and so we think the payment won't change, right? It won't go up, it won't go down. However, there are variables within that payment, which consists of your property taxes, your homeowners insurance, and your HOAs. So we want to take that into account when we're going and purchasing a home on that monthly payment target goal.
So I like to explain it to my clients like this. When you get a paycheck, it's going to go to savings and checking. And you're going to pay your mortgage out of these two accounts. Out of your checking, you're going to pay for principal, interest, and mortgage insurance. Out of your savings, you're going to pay for your taxes and your homeowners insurance. That way, when it comes time to renew your insurance or to pay your taxes at the end of the year, you're going to have that money in an account to pay those items off, right? So there's going to be no issues or risk of having a late payment or something like that.
So homeowners insurance is a vital asset within this process. And what it does is it protects the asset, not only for you, but for the bank too. And so think of it when you buy a car, you have a fixed monthly payment. Well, the insurance isn't included in that, where in a mortgage it is included. And so it protects you from the loss of use if the property is damaged, to rebuild the property. And also, let's say you have a young son and your son gets a dog and he has a friend over and playing. Ultimately, the dog bites the other kid. Well, there is also medical coverage in case somebody gets hurt on your property. And it's vital to have, and it's important to know what you're picking out when you're picking this coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. So to follow up on Hunter's example, I had a client and they had a home, obviously, and they got homeowners insurance. It was good homeowners insurance. It's a good thing because they had a golf cart, and this golf cart's batteries overcharged and set on fire and burnt down their entire house. Luckily, they weren't in it. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. No one was harmed, luckily, in the burning down of this property, but their house was gone. However, they had really good insurance, so the insurance not only paid to rebuild their house, but it also paid for their long-term Airbnb while this thing got rebuilt. But this is why we use homeowners insurance. And there's also natural disasters all over the country. California has earthquakes, Oklahoma has tornadoes, and of course, Florida has hurricanes. Northeast Florida is in the corner or armpit, as we like to call it, of Florida. So we are not majorly affected by hurricanes, knock on wood, we haven't been yet. So our insurance costs are much lower than the Gulf Coast or South Florida. So that's why you should probably move to Northeast Florida.
And I think it's important that we know those risks, right, going into it, because when you go to close on your home, right, they're going to collect 12 months of that payment. Well, if there's more risk in the environment as we approach the renewal date, right, and they're going to release the funds to renew your insurance, there might be an uptick in that coverage cost. So that's one thing you want to kind of get out in front of. So let's say you closed on October of 2024. Well, I put a reminder in my calendar for August of 2024 to go ahead and reach back out to my agent, see if my coverage has gone up or down. And if it's gone up, maybe I shop that policy while still keeping the same standards, right?
All right, so let's talk about property taxes. So here in the Sunshine State, the beautiful state of Florida, we have a property tax exemption that we'll talk about more in the next section. But when you're buying your home, we want to know how taxes are going to affect your mortgage payment month to month to find that monthly goal.
Let's say you're buying a home and someone's lived there for 25 years, Jack and Jill, right? And they bought it at $100,000 and they live here on the beach, right? Because they bought it in 1970 and there was no JTB and it was only Atlantic. Well, over time, what happens is the property value goes up. We see it every year. It's just like a stock and it continues to go up and up and up. It's supply and demand. However, when that property changes hands and you buy it for $900,000, right? and they had an exemption, and the exemption was only $50,000 on the taxable amount. Well, now your property tax is going to change dramatically, which is going to affect that monthly payment. And what we're trying to do is target that plan for you, as well as let you know what to expect after year one.
All right, so we talked a lot about homestead exemption in the last section, so let's break that down a little bit more. Homestead exemption is a tax exemption for Florida residents that use this home in Florida as their primary residence.
So those exemptions are extremely benefit for a primary owner that's going to live here in Florida. And what it does is it takes away $50,000 from your taxable value. Well, there's a difference between your assessed value and your taxable. The assessed is a higher, and then the taxable is taking the $50,000 out of that to make that your taxable. And what they're doing is they're coming up with a percentage rate. They call it a millage rate, right? And so it's going to the local county, it's going to the schools, and ultimately what you're doing is you're getting an exemption, decreasing that taxable value, so less money's going to them, ultimately, because it's your primary residence. It's not an investment, it's not a second home. But what happens is when you file your homestead exemption, so if you bought in 2024, you're going to file by March of 2025. It kicks in 2025, but we all know they reassess it before then, right?
Right, and yeah, so pretty much make sure if you bought a home recently or you're about to buy a home and your agent didn't fill you in this or your title company, make sure you go down to the county clerk's office and get the homestead exemption application right away, because you really want to see those savings in your monthly payment.
I did it on my first house, and I didn't file my homestead, and it went up by, I want to say like $2,300. I'm sure part of it was a reassess, but because I didn't file it, man, that was brutal, dude.
Hurts. We don't want that for you.
So why does this matter? Because it can affect your monthly payment. And over time, that can be something you're not prepared for with that monthly goal, right? And I would say 99% of our clients, this happens to. So what we want to do is have that plan of action.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject, if you are looking for a home in Northeast Florida or planning on purchasing soon, give me or Hunter a call. We'd love to be a resource to you at any capacity and just give you the confidence to purchase your first home and fill you in on all these different aspects and answer any questions for you. We'd rather you be making memories and stressing out over all the financials. All right, so let's recap all these things, Hunter. Let's start with insurance. Insurance is rolled into your monthly payment and protects your asset, right?
Correct. And property taxes are into the monthly payment as well, but they do change typically in November here in Northeast Florida.
Right, and homestead exemption is a tax exemption for Florida residents to save you money on your taxes.
So when we talk about the mortgage part, we want to make sure we have that plan of action like Luke said. That's the difference between loving your house and feeling financially stressed for your house. We hope you enjoyed these tips on the home buying process and what to expect, as well as what to expect after year one. Remember, when choosing your real estate agent and lender, it makes all the difference to pick the right team.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always Christmas when you work with Christmas homes. And there's something called Christmas magic, and the way we spread Christmas magic is by connection. So on that note, we posted all of our resources down below if you have more questions or wondering where we got this information from. Also, and better yet, we are always available for a call or a text to answer any questions you have. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. And if you're looking for more information, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button or whatever else. We love you guys. See you later.
Make sure you like it.